Rock Bottom Radio Show, video channel. It's Mike Dyer, vocalist of Grand Slam. Nice to have you in this interview.
It's a joy to be here.
So how is the run of the tour with Saxon and Girls School so far? How is the run of
the tour? Has been monumental. It's been epic. It's been lovely to see audiences from a different audience, really, a different demographic, and the Saxon boys have opened up a different territory for us. We just finished Sweden, which we had a good stronghold with, and we did a tour of Spain with FM boys, but our main focus has been Germany, because rock is well alive here, and we wanted to conquer Germany in a positive way.
Positive is a good word. Your music is full of positive vibes. Does it stand for the mood among the band members?
Yes, I think Lawrence has this gift of finding a template of which we use as a base, as a foundation, and his connection with Phil Lynott, obviously. We tip our hat at Phil's past. He's a person that we can't, emulate or copy, and I wouldn't want to, but I feel very humbled that I've been accepted by the crossover. But Lawrence basically comes along with an idea of a song, and I'm very much into my poetry and lyrics, and Rocky with his history with Michael Schenker and Benji's drumming, which is absolutely full of energy. He's an animal, he really is an animal. And a wonderful keyboard player called Andy Fuller. They are a great platform, and the morale in the band is beautiful. We've been on tour literally living in each other's pockets, and we all get on like a house on fire, so that's a blessing. It's a blessing.
You mentioned the keyboard player. Why is the founding member Mark Stanway not part of the band anymore?
Mark was very much came along to do the original Hit the Ground album, but it didn't work in the chemistry sense. It really didn't, and I'd rather leave it at that with Mark. We're amicable, but it certainly didn't fit. It didn't suit.
Okay. And who is responsible for songwriting? You have mentioned before, Lawrence writes the music, and you are responsible for the lyrics.
So it will come along where Lawrence will absolutely, obsessively work through ideas, and slowly but surely Benji will go over to Spain. Benji's based in Spain, Lawrence is based in Spain, and they will work grooves, and then I will go along and I'll start getting hints of lyrics, but we very much mold Lawrence's initial idea, and we call it a process of slamifying. We call it slamifying. We put it through, we put bass. There's a couple of songs that Lawrence wrote which were love songs. They were very melodic love songs, and they've turned into hard-hitting rock songs. So it's been very much a process of, it's almost like a conveyor belt. It's like a production line, and it starts with Lawrence. There's been a few ideas that have come from other routes, but on the mainstay, Lawrence lyrics I'm absolutely obsessed with. I'm obsessed with lyrics not being sung about devils and demons, and I want adults. This world, we all live in the same planet. There is an endless topic of subject, and we're in a very volatile part of existence, and I think we have endless subject matter. Unfortunately, there's enough old men who are destroying our planet, so we thought we'd be some wiser men to try and make a positive route.
You're responsible for the lyrics, more or less? Or?
I write, and there's a song on the album which is things like Trail of Tears, that Benji is a historian, the drummer, so he'll enlighten me on an idea, and we'll go down a route, and he'll point me in that direction. Rocky's a bit of a wordsmith. He will use phrases and comes up, but I will come up with the main lyric. But then there's times when we're in a situation where lyrics came from another place. There was a story I was trying to tell, which was the song Spitfire. I lost my mum the year before last, and I've had the most crazy dreams. One of them has been nervous of singing that song in Germany, because I realized, and I wanted to write how brave both pilots, 19-year-old pilots, whether you're flying a Messerschmitt 109 or a Spitfire. And I couldn't find any lyrics, and we were in Chapel Studios, and they put me to bed at 11:30. I went to bed at 11:30. At 1:20 a.m. I woke up with having a nightmare of this plane crashing through the ceiling. And the next day, a Spitfire crashed 3 miles away in the field. And we were all, they were all asking me for the lottery numbers, but we were so freaked out. It was a freaky experience, but it is very much, and to me, talking to Germany, the whole thing where, you mentioned people, I know we've got enough war on this planet, but the respect of people going to battle when they're 19-year-olds, and I just thought, they're the same people, they're the same, 19-year-olds, gun fodder, whatever, and that was very passionate to me.
This was my idea. Spitfire is a very great song, heavy, straightforward.
Yeah.
So it was taken from this event
Yes.
that you have.
Well, no, we went back to record songs for Japan, and while I was there, I had the dream, and it was on September the 11th. It was a fly past, and this plane crashed. So we'd already recorded the song.
Okay.
And it just came, it was so frightening. It was RAF Coningsbury, and the pilot was killed, and it was just, a premonition.
A very great song. There Goes My Heart. It's a very catchy song.
Yeah.
The video to this song is funny, and it transports joy and positive energy. Where did you film it?
We filmed it in Spain. Lawrence is based in the Alicante region.
Yeah.
And this song is a prime example of when Lawrence originally wrote it. It was very much a melodic piece. And then we were listening to, I think we got things like Volbeats. I think he was saying that we need something, and the song literally changed. So it went from being this song that was written about whether it's a female or whether it's a car. And the truth be told, it was the car. It was an E-type Jaguar that does 10 to the gallon, but the video leaves people hanging to think, is it the car, is it the female, is it the car, is it the female, and it is the car. So,
But you were hitchhiking in the end of the video. The young lady drove away without picking you up. Did you meet her again?
did I meet her again? This is lovely, you like this one? This is Lawrence's wife.
Oh.
Yeah, what a bombshell. And we were literally, the worst thing you can do is work with animals in film and people's wives. But she embraced it, she absolutely smashed it out the park, and she became a real actress. She was absolutely perfect for the job. And we made this thing which was almost like not quite seeing who it was, this lady, this mystic lady. And she went and she was dressed in the same colours of the car. There is one big fatal mistake in the filming of it. Lyrically, it says British Racing Green, the cat that got the cream.
Yeah.
But we ended up using a maroon E-type. We couldn't find a British Racing Green car in that location. Yeah. So we used the maroon E-type Jag. So that lady is Amanda Archer. Yeah, that's Lawrence's wife. So there you go.
And I've read that We Come Together in Harlem was composed by Phil Lynott. Lynott or Lynott, how is it pronounced?
I always say Phil Lynott. And there's people, in Ireland will Phil Lynott, Phil Lynott. But it's very much, that song was originally written as Harlem, but it didn't have the choruses, it didn't have a change, and it was very downbeat. And we wanted to try and change the emotion. And so the first part of the song, when Phil sadly passed, it was never finished. So Lawrence had to live with all these songs, which were not quite ready. But sadly, somebody released them, and I know Phil would have he would have been so annoyed if he knew, because they were private works of art in the process of being made. They should not have had light of day, but somebody's released it. So we had to well and truly think carefully And it was almost like restoration, if you're doing something special. You know, it's like being in this room now with the Rammstein backdrop is quite spectacular, you know. But it's when you restore something, you've got to have that love for it. But sadly, this industry, there are people who are plagiarists. They jump on any opportunity to milk it. And I think, I think that's something which is, we're very happy with.
Okay. The Grand Slam was founded by Phil Lynott, Lawrence Archer, and some other guys. So your music has got a strong influence of them, and your voice sounds a little bit like Phil's voice. So do you see Grand Slam as a successor of Thin Lizzy today?
No. I think that would be a fatal mistake to even. I saw a few Thin Lizzy scarves and people, and it's beautiful because when I first met Phil Lynott, it was the Black Rose tour. And I was a spotty little fat kid living in Liverpool, and I met him and Scott Gorham after the show, and they were so approachable. And Phil was like, all right, mate, and I was 40, and we had a little chat. And then a couple of years later, when I worked with Lawrence had already been through that. Lawrence was the great hope. Phil took him well and truly under the wing, and that was something where that journey. I think Lawrence had to live with these songs for a long, long time. The original members, with regards to the Thin Lizzy thing, I think that's sacred. I think it's a beautiful place for us to be given the foundation, for us to tip our hats. But Phil and Thin Lizzy, totally different. We do a cover in certain places. We did a wonderful Remember Phil and Gary 75th anniversary concert a couple of weeks ago, which was amazing in the Netherlands. But it's something where we do feel as a band, it's sacred ground. It's kind of, we want to move on. We want to respect it, and we want to move on. And that's why Wheel of Fortune is definitely our way forward. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And how do you see the musical progress from your first album, Hit the Ground, to Wheel of Fortune? How would you see it?
I see that as being, the first one was definitely Lawrence being able to give birth to songs that have been sitting there eating him away for a long, long time, and he had to ensure the journey and the songs were recorded properly. And I'd worked with Lawrence a long, long time ago in a band called Rhode Island Red in the 80s, and we played a few gigs, but we never went anywhere near the Grand Slam because it was too recent. And I think Lawrence needed time to reflect, and constantly getting bombarded by people. When's this going to happen? When's this going to happen? And at the time, Lawrence was 19 when he started Lawrence didn't actually start playing the guitar till very late. He's one of these just an incredible guitarist. He's the best guitarist out. He makes me cry when he plays. It really is a gift.
Yeah, of course.
And he's possessed by Paganini at times, I think. And that's something where I think the journey for him to hit the ground out the way, we decided to do half Grand Slam and half new.
Okay.
And the new songs were very much in the vein, but the Wheel of Fortune album, we went into Chapel Studios it was Christmas, just before Christmas, and we locked ourselves away, and we genuinely didn't know what was going to come out. Lawrence had worked very hard on ideas. Benji had gone out there and we had a few. There Goes My Heart had been knocking around for a long time. The Pirate song, which was a song that Lawrence called me in 2017 on Christmas Day, and I hadn't spoken to him for 30 years. So he was like on a mission.
Yeah.
I want you to come. And I said, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? He said, come to Guadeloupe. So I ended up flying to Pirate Land, and by that time Lawrence had already been written and had the basis riff of Pirate Song, and the lyrics just came. He started writing that in Greece, and then he was filming a television thing called Death in Paradise, which is a TV series, because Lawrence has worked on many movies, big movies. And it was very much sitting there, and we had There Goes My Heart, which was a weird idea, we sang. And then when it got to rehearsals, Benji and Rocky's a great, no, try this way, and he stands up. It can't be just one person pushing it through. the initial idea definitely is, it's like a process, and it's 60% Lawrence will be the idea, and we'll chisel away, and it becomes what it is. It definitely gets a life of its own.
Yeah. But your first album was re-released or
Yes.
revised. Why that?
That was because we felt that the energy that we went through, we had a horrible situation where the band lineup, we basically had an energy in there which was so negative that we wanted to give Rocky a tip to, basically have the four members who were basically playing on the new album, the revised, and bring a couple of the songs slightly different mixes. But I felt that during that period of time we had a hell of a time in court. We had a legal issue which was a very, very horrible situation, which was we won everything, but it was something that was heartbreaking because we were so wanted to get out there. But unfortunately, the industry is full of people who are twisted or have other motives, and we had to sit on it. So we thought, you know what? Let's release it again completely. And the record company, we went to Silver Lining, and we originally released the first through Loud Music, is it? And it was through Marshall. We got signed to Marshall Records, and Marshall were fabulous, but we didn't get that connection that we have now with Silver Lining. Silver Lining label have been absolutely a joy to work with because they're females. And I think that this industry is full of willy-waving blokes. I think there's this macho thing, and the females that we've got get it done, and they're polite, and they open doors, and they get things done efficiently. So the Silver Lining thing to us is something which is very special. And I believe Thomas, who looks after Wacken, he's an absolute legend, So I think that he's gonna hopefully like to think that he's gonna stick his gonads on the line and give us a push.
This current record company belongs to Thomas Jensen from Wacken.
That's correct. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah. I think he's got a big, strong, and he likes what we're doing. He loves what we're doing, and I think it's a hell of a gamble to take guys of our vintage. I'm not 22 anymore, but the whole thing is that
27.
Yeah, 27 now. Yeah. Oh, I wish. I so wish. But it's something where I'm not desperate anymore, and I think you can tell that with the music. I don't care. I really care about the music, but I know we've got something pretty special.
Okay, and do you pursue other musical projects beside Grand Slam?
I did. My life went from went from Rhode Island Red, and then I ended up working with Scott Gorham when he was doing 21 Guns, but I didn't pursue it. And then I went into musical theatre. So I started off doing a show called Blood Brothers, which is a massive smash hit in London, and then I ended up doing Notre Dame de Paris, which was I was playing the priest Frollo, and the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That was with Tina Arena, and very well known. And then I went and did Jesus Christ Superstar in Essen at the Colosseum. And I loved it. And that musical, and then I basically wrote a musical called Exposure, which was put on, it was a bucket list. I couldn't believe it. I raised a lot of money, and it went on in the West End in 2016. But my love has always been rock and roll, and
that's a good attitude.
Coming back to Lawrence again, full circle. At my part of my life is wonderful, and the energy in the band is. We all know where we're going.
Okay,
it's great.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, Mike, thank you very much for this interview.
Legend.
Keep on rocking.
Yeah, we will.